welcome to another episode of I'm a physics student and there is no way to run. We have a simple question again about friction. This few next episodes will be all about friction. Sorry for that. It will be all about friction and variety of problems about friction solved in Newton's laws. Somewhat about dynamics. So let's start. The question will be force applied to a 10 kilograms object to move over a surface on a constant velocity. See, this time it's a constant velocity. So it means that there is no acceleration. And in this case, that makes it more simpler to us for us to solve. So the coefficient mu of friction is 0.2. What we need to find is force of gravitational force and normal force and applied force and frictional force and net force. Phew, that's a lot to find, but we are going to find it so easily thanks to the constant velocity mentioned. So we'll draw the free body diagram again. The amazing box of whatever unknown object, which I hope it's weed, is drawn here. The free body diagram. We have four forces that are affecting on the box, which is the fabulous force, the force applied, and the force of friction, which opposes the force applied, and then we have normal force, which is the force in this direction, and then there is the gravitational force, which is in this direction. As we have no vertical movement of the box, Fn will always equal Fg. The normal force will always equal the gravitational force. And as well as there is no acceleration for the object on the x-axis, the net force will be 0. And as well, the friction of the force will equal the force applied. So the force of friction will be equal to the force applied. So let's start. The gravitational force is always found by the mass multiplied by the gravity constant, which is 10 multiplied by 9.8, which will be 98, and 10 is the mass, which is taken from the question, 10 kilograms. And then we will try to find the friction formula. Again, usually these questions, most of the time, we need two formulas to solve them, which is the Newton's second law, F equal ma, but in this case, as the acceleration is 0, then the F net force will be 0, so Newton's second law will not be of a help, but the friction formula will be of a help for us to find the friction, because it's required in this F in question. The friction formula will be mu multiplied by the normal force. The normal force, we found it by finding the gravitational force. Remember, because the object is not moving vertically, if gravitational force equal to the normal force. See, this one equals this one according to Newton's third law. So after we calculate, we have already the coefficient of friction, or mu of friction, given us in the question, so we will multiply it by the normal force, which we already found here, which Fg equal Fn, so we will use Fg as well because it's equal to Fn, so Fn will be 98. So we will put it here into the equation and we will end up with 19.6. So it's not clear here, I didn't write the answer clear, so this one should be equal 19.6, but because I didn't have a space to move, so just use your imagination. Anyway, since there's no horizontal acceleration, F of friction will be equal F applied, so the answer of the force applied will be equal to the answer we got from the friction formula, because as we mentioned, whenever the object is in constant velocity, if applied will equal a friction, because it's still the same, like there is no acceleration. So that will be the answer of this question. Thank you very much for watching.